Hey guys, it's November 23rd, sorry, 2023, and it is Thanksgiving. I'm here with my cat, one of my cats, the noisy one, um, the one who likes to stay upstairs um, with me in my study office area, as well as in my bedroom. She definitely likes company. The other one, a little more standoffish, not standoffish, a little more cat-like. This one's a little more dog-like. Um, so it's Thanksgiving, and it is a day that we're supposed to be grateful, and not just be grateful, but to show our gratefulness. It makes me think every year on this day um, how we've picked one day to demonstrate what should, by all rights, be every day of our lives. That if we spend a minute, less than a minute, 30 seconds, less than 30 seconds, if we spent one breath, the length of a breath, appreciating the fact that we exist at all when the odds of that being are beyond astronomical. Not just us. Trace things back. What are the odds of ancestor after ancestor after ancestor surviving to bring you here to this particular point? It almost makes me feel bad that I don't have any biological kids. I dropped the ball with that one. Countless ancestors since the dawn of time, crawling out of the ocean, taking a breath, trying to take a breath, going back in the ocean, repeatedly, surviving everything to bring me here. And then I go, well, it was a good run, end of the time. But seriously, infinite numbers of ancestors to bring us here. And then the fact that the universe had to be created perfectly so for our existence. Perfectly so to have the atmosphere that we do. The sun has to be just at the right length, not too close, not too far away. The moon has to be just as it is to balance things out, to cause the tides to work the way they do. And again, the atmosphere has to be perfect for us to take a breath. Not to mention that we have an abundance of air for breath. We don't have to search for it. We don't have to strive for it. We don't ever have to wonder, where is my next breath going to come from? It's here, perfectly so, every day, every morning. Which always reminds me of, and I mentioned this the other day, Meister Eckhart, the German mystic of, I believe, the 12th century, and his perfect quote for gratitude, that if the only prayer you ever said was thank you, that alone would be enough. Because thankfulness acknowledges that we've been given this existence. We could look around at some things and point out what's lacking, because all of us have something that's lacking, or things that we would like more of, or life to be a little easier. But we have life. And with life comes infinite possibilities. What we don't have now, we have the intelligence and the means and the capability to bring into existence, to bring into our lives. If we really need it, if we really want it. Maybe we're blessed with a strong back and strong hands, a keen intellect. Maybe we're great talkers. Maybe we're gifted with creativity. The fact is, though, we're all gifted. So we all have something to be thankful for. That's the main message for today. Kindness, gratefulness, and knowing that that's so. I am afraid, though, and I'm guilty of it as well. I try to wake up every morning and say thank you. Just take a breath. Before I hit my first yoga pose of the day, which is the easy pose that I use to sit into with meditation, before I do anything, while I'm still lying in bed, simply say thank you. Because I've arrived. I made it here. There's no guarantee. There's absolutely no guarantee that you're going to wake up in the morning or that you are going to survive the very next instant. And yet we do, and here we are, and we wake up. How can we not say thank you? Been given this gift. And again, maybe life isn't easy. This certainly caused to struggle right now. Certainly cause for outright alarm in some areas, and some unhappiness, some depression. I could make a list easily. And I'm not someone that likes to dwell on the doom and gloom. But if you look around, we could all make a list. However, if you were to compare that list to the list of the endless gifts that we've been given, or even, you know what, we could strike that. One gift. The gift of our existence. One thing. We make that list of all the things that trouble us in a troublesome world. Maybe it could be pages. And then we take another list and we just put one thing. I exist. That would outweigh everything on the other list. Because with your existence comes the possibility of fixing every single one of those problems on that other list. Just by virtue of being alive. By virtue of helping someone else. Making someone smile. Making someone's life easier. Here's the thing with gratitude. We can be thankful for just existing, but what does it mean if we don't use it to serve others? Gratefulness without deeds, gratefulness without acts. How do we show we're grateful? To me, it has to be through compassion, it has to be through empathy, patience, kindness, being of some type of service for others. Without it, it's not real gratitude. It's hollow. So as it's great to sit at a table with our loved ones, there are those who have no loved ones or those without a table. Does that take away our gratitude for what we have? It certainly shouldn't. But tomorrow is another day. What are we going to do? What are we going to do to show other people that we're grateful just for the opportunity of being alive? Our friend Lewis, it is what it is here. Good morning and happy Thanksgiving. Thank you. Hope you're having a great day. I am having a pretty good day. But, you know, my holidays anymore aren't much different than any other day, which can sound kind of somber. It can sound kind of sad. However, every one of my days is a pretty damn good day. So if Thanksgiving is as good as yesterday, life is pretty awesome. Life is pretty great. I got up this morning and I did absolutely everything I love to do. How's that for Thanksgiving? How's that for being thankful? I got to get up this morning and do everything I love to do. It's the same thing I did yesterday. Almost to a T. Sort of. Because nothing's ever really the same. My friend Robert Saltzman, who wrote the book, The 10,000 Things and Depending on No Thing, likes to call it a once upon. Nothing ever happens exactly the same, although it might seem so, because everything spontaneously arises. Everything. Every cell in our body is spontaneously arising into the appropriate order of us being. Man, how is that for a miracle? Every single day, we're a miracle. Lewis says, as long as you are living life, I am. And he says, today will be better for me because I love turkey. And I'm the cook 4 years now. I saw your turkey with an endless amount of bacon covering on it. And I didn't see what you were, I couldn't tell what you were stuffing it with. I don't eat meat, and I'm never tempted, but I can appreciate a good cook. I can appreciate someone who enjoys what they eat. Because, I'm a vegan, not so much for health reasons, but for ethical reasons. If you're going to eat something, if you're going to take another life, and I'm not saying that eating meat is bad, but if you're going to, it should definitely be a work of art. It should definitely be, make that life worth, So someone who prepares their food with love and gratitude and takes pride, this is what I'm serving my family, that's a beautiful act, in my opinion, no matter what it is that's being cooked. Someone who enjoys what they eat, that's another beautiful thing. Lewis says it has onions, bay leaves, salt, pepper, 2 times yellow. Definitely sounds good. I had, I had oatmeal. But you know what? I think I've mentioned before, I think I did an entire live session on my love of oatmeal, that I could eat oatmeal 3 meals a day. I had oatmeal, a little bit of flaxseed, cinnamon, walnuts, chopped dates, and 2 bananas over top of it, and blueberries, and a little more cinnamon topping it. Then I had an apple. That's my breakfast. And I could have it again. And then I eat early. I go by the Ayurvedic principles of ending my last meal of the day at the very least 3 hours before I go to bed. So my second meal is my biggest meal. First 2 meals are the biggest one. The last meal I eat, smaller. I also have a post-workout apple, banana, sometimes some Ezekiel bread toast. My main meal is virtually every single day lentils, rice, with turmeric for joint health. Of course, my endless supply of bananas and an apple. And that's it. Pretty much every day is it's my main meal. And you know what? I never get tired of it. I never say, oh man, I got to eat this again. Through simplicity, my tastes have gotten simple. And I'm actually grateful for that, that I can just eat that stuff. But again, it doesn't take away my appreciation for what other people create in the kitchen. My brother does that. My brother's a really good cook, and he will spend hours prepping something. Lewis says that it is Gordon Ramsay's turkey recipe, and thanks to Matt, I ate 2 McRibs yesterday. You know what, though? He says he's being bad. This is your time to be bad. And then come January, or are we going to push it up? It's going to be a Christmas miracle. And it is what it is. It's going to make his grand comeback Christmas morning in his pajamas doing 5 pumps. So yeah, you know what? This is your planned time of being bad. Always followed by the planned time of being on target, not cutting corners. My life, as far as my eating, though, has gotten really strict. I had some issues that I think were caused by extended fast and then trying to get too many calories in a short eating window. I was fasting 18 to 21 hours a day, which left me, very little eating window to get the calories in that I needed to be an ultra runner. And that caused me some later issues, and I'm trying to make up for that now. It is what it is, says, and only a month to go and it's over. Yep, so enjoy your 4 weeks of being bad. But you get enjoyment out of that too. You get enjoyment with what you're doing now, obviously. You love and you're grateful for the food that you're eating now, from the turkey to the McRibs and everything in between, donuts. And then when it's time to get strict, I never once in all the videos I watched you put out, I never heard you complain about the strictness of your diet and the things that you were doing. So you seamlessly go right in to what you say you're going to do. No complaints, no, oh man, I can't do this anymore. Right into it. Reverend Terminator is here, and he says, good burpees, Eric. Thanks, Rev. I appreciate that. I appreciate the ABBA reference. Actually, one of my favorite bands from the 70s, much to Mocha's great disappointment in me. She does not appreciate my ABBA love. But you know what? For pure pop music and feeling good, you can't beat them. And you know what? There's a lot to be said for simply feeling good. We look for peak experiences sometimes, being at the height of the mountain. Sometimes, though, just waking up and knowing you get to climb a mountain, that's enough. Just feeling good. Just feeling good physically. Limited aches and pains. At 58, I appreciate limited aches and pains. And when things click, when I get 231 pumps, 236 counts, when I get 110 Navy SEALs, when I get 100 Navy SEALs, things are clicking. What I talked about first was we can't take any moment we have for granted. We wake up in the morning and we should simply say thank you, thank you, thank you, because it wasn't guaranteed. Not to mention, again, the fact that everything has to be perfect in the universe to us to even exist. Everything had to be perfect in the universe for Lewis to get his turkey. Everything. One thing gone wrong, and none of this would be. So, yeah, I don't take that for granted, and I don't take a somewhat non-achy body on a 58-year-old. Not a small thing either. Reverend Terminator says, I hear you. Was it a commercial? I don't think so. The title of the burpee post was mainly just for Thanksgiving, being grateful for the burpees. But going back to ABBA again, it's feel-good music. It's not, I was going to say it's not great art, but you know what? Great art makes you smile. Sometimes it makes you think. Sometimes, you have the Beatles for introspection. And then sometimes you have ABBA just to put a smile on your face. I love some of the complex work by other artists. And you know what? I also love the Charlie Brown comic strip. So we should love everything in between. Reverend Terminator, who, by the way, um, I appreciate musically the things that you do. So when we talk music, I'm going to add that to my list of things that I am grateful for. Reverend Terminator says, you know how to hit the melodies right. They're kind of a genius in that way. I agree. You know, heck, I can't do it. I enjoy writing, and I considered writing some songs, but I think you need writing lyrics is one thing, but to have them be prepared for a song, that's another. It's an art form right outside of my realm. What I write, I liken to lyrical prose. Reverend Terminator says today there will be an ABBA cover in honor of Eric McCarty. I definitely appreciate that, and I will show that to Mocha with just a little bit of smugness. Here's the thing about Mocha. She appreciates all forms of music. So as she might not be an ABBA fan, she would say she appreciates what they can do. She is loves all music across all genres. She has her favorites. She likes 90s hip-hop, maybe the best, but she's a big Beatles fan. She loves Hall & Oates, 70s music, all 70s music, with the exception of country, which is a big difference between her and I, as I love old country music, from the old-timey country music all the way to the 70s outlaw music. I'm not real fond of modern country because it's sort of pop. And as I like pop, I want my country and my pop. They don't need to mix for me. Reverend Terminator says, yeah, many kinds of good music. I also prefer heavy metal, but like many kinds. Hey, you blew me away with your Leonard Cohen reference a while back. First we take Manhattan. So as far as I'm concerned, if you give me a Leonard Cohen reference, you're gold. It's as good as it gets. Almost everything he wrote was genius. And his last album before he died, his last work of art, it's simply incredible. Reverend Terminator says, you know, Hybrid Jim, he is a real musician, but he ain't a show-off type. But I bet he is top-notch. We've talked music fairly often, him and I. We have some differences. He is not a Beatles fan or Rolling Stone fan. I can sort of understand the Rolling Stones, although I love the Rolling Stones, but I sort of thought that to be British meant you automatically loved the Beatles. And I know he's a guitar player, although he said that he hasn't played for some time. My mother was a clarinet player, and she actually received a musical scholarship, college, playing the clarinet. And then she stopped. I might have heard her play once or twice as a kid, growing up. I heard her play the piano at my grandmother's every once in a while. Kind of a shame. Reverend Terminator says, yeah, I never liked the Beatles or Rolling Stones myself. He is probably a very good guitar player. I imagine that Hybrid Jim is an excellent guitar player because he doesn't seem to do things without putting his all into it. Very meticulous, very mindful, so that if he played, it would be something that he gave his entire attention to. And if you do that, I can only imagine what an awesome player. I would have thought you might have liked the Beatles, Rev. And he says, oh, she must have been good, your mother. You know, again, I assume to get a musical scholarship, and her mother, my grandmother, was very forceful in making her practice. And I think that when she got out of college, she was just done. Music was, playing the clarinet was a means to an end. She always loved music. She was always humming, always singing. We always had music playing, but I think she was just done playing by the time I was a kid. Reverend Terminator says, this is true. I know he played in a bar and played when his wife sang. Oh, I didn't know that. That's actually really cool. And he goes on and says, no, he started listening to music around 88, I guess, in the area of heavy metal. Yeah, that was a big heavy metal hair band days. Beatles was kind of boring then. Some might say that the Beatles invented heavy metal, specifically with Helter Skelter. I personally, I don't know. I always sort of attribute heavy metal to Sabbath, to Zeppelin. Heavy metal was the heavy blues to begin with. For me, heavy metal will always be Black Sabbath. The be-all, end-all of all heavy metal. Robert Terminator says, yes, I also like the views. The African Americans invented heavy metal. Well, what happened was some of the, particularly the British musicians, loved the blues, Zeppelin in particular, and they put that heavier sound to it. They electrified the blues, making heavy metal. So the blues were the originator, so African Americans, in essence, were responsible. But for so much, like I'm a huge jazz fan. If I were only to listen to one type of music right now, as much as I love rock, as much as I love country, it would either be jazz or classical music, symphony music. Yes, Ozzy was the vocal in Black Sabbath, the original vocal. And then he left like in 81, went solo, and Ronnie James Dio, I believe, came in. But early Black Sabbath was heavy as it got. But it was also a little more spacious than the heavy metal in the 80s. By spacious, I mean that there was space between the notes to provide a little bit of meaning that seemed to be lacking in some of the later. The Jay Jordan is here. How are you? Stopping by to say happy holiday to you. I appreciate that very much. And we're talking music, and we can't talk great YouTube musicians without mentioning the Jay Jordan. Always appreciate listening to you. Not only that, I appreciate the sincerity you put in your practice. As much as I like your workouts, some of my favorite things to watch is when you're at the keyboards, because you're perfecting your art, and I absolutely love seeing an artist at work, an artist doing what they love to do, and the love that you have for your craft is so obvious. It's infectious. It makes me want to go to my own keyboards, not my playing keyboards, but my writing keyboards, and start writing. And that's the role of every great artist, to inspire. Rev says Paranoid is a great song, and it is. And he also says that Jay Jordan is king of freestyle, and I agree. And the Jay says, thank you very much for the kind words. Thank you. You know, like I said, you inspire me. I wouldn't be doing these live sessions if I had not watched you. It was Paul from Oregon and Nick and a few others that got me to start my channel. But when I decided to go live, it was watching you do your thing so fearlessly. You didn't care about anything other than you were there to share what you were doing. And I thought, you know what? That's a completely awesome thing to do. Because I have a lot of fear going in front of a camera, even if I'm only talking to two people. So to inspire me to be here talking, that's a pretty big thing. And if it's just me, imagine how many other people that you might know with what you do. The Jay Jordan and the Reverend Terminator, both of you, with your creativity. I'm here because of you guys, for sure. I'm not blaming you, I'm thanking you. Reverend Terminator says that, yes, I think the Jay Jordan taught me to combine music and fitness. And you know what? That's no small thing. Who would think to put that together? You know, for me, because although I love music, I don't play anything, but I write. And I talk about the things that I love with passion. I talk about yoga. I talk about Buddhism. I talk about philosophy. I talk about all these things that I love with all the passion that I have. And I thought, so I can't do music and fitness, but I can do music and the things that I write about. I don't know if there's an audience for it, but it doesn't matter. You put it out there. Put it out there just the same. The Jay Jordan says, I enjoy seeing you put your work out there. Appreciate that. Thank you. Reverend Terminator says 3 different people finding fellowship through burpees and fitness. And then our friend Duncan Walsh Fitness Motivation is here. Hey, Eric. Hey, Duncan. I'm going to add another person on that list, Reverend. Destiny. And her love of treadmill dancing. I feel, you know, today being Thanksgiving in America, I feel fortunate to be in the company that I am with you guys right now. Duncan, how are the kittens going? You just missed my cat, who was up here giving me an earful for not paying enough attention to her. So, it is what it is, says, what a great group of men you guys are. Appreciate that. And appreciate you being part of that group, Lewis. As well, because we're talking music here, some of the best soundtrack on any of the burpee videos, without fail, every time you click on It Is What It Is, you get a great soundtrack that matches his effort perfectly. To me, that's an art form by itself. Picking the right song is an art form. Picking the right song to match your movement, to match that fitness. Who would have thought that we'd be having a conversation from different countries, different continents, different part of the same country, um, talking about music and fitness and kittens. um, Duncan says that he did do a video of the kittens. I will put a link in the description. Great. I'm actually looking forward to seeing them. The fact that they were taken in through that act of kindness on your part. Kindness is never wasted. No small act is ever wasted. And the Katha Upanishads of um, Vedic wisdom, yogic wisdom, there's a saying that no effort is ever wasted upon the spiritual path, not even the smallest. So the simplicity of taking in an extra kitten, an extra 2 kittens, just because it tugged at your heart, that effort's not wasted at all. Destiny is here, and it was just talking about you. I was just talking about the joy of treadmill dancing. Blessings to you as well, Destiny. I'm doing pretty good. It is what it is, says, yeah, Duncan and Rev are from other countries, right? Yes. Rev is Scandinavia, and Duncan is in the UK. I'm on the East Coast. The J is in the South. We have Destiny in Alabama, formerly of Florida. And at one time, I think she mentioned she lived in the DC area, which is not far from me. And Lewis is out west. Reverend Terminator is leaving. Have a great Thanksgiving. You too. Thank you. He has to walk with his wife. And the ABBA Eric McCarty tribute will be within the hour. That's pretty awesome. Enjoy the walk. Hopefully it's a beautiful day for you there. Duncan says, happy Thanksgiving to all. Duncan, you guys, do you celebrate Thanksgiving there? Reverend says, rainy but nice. Talk to you later. Take care. And thanks again for stopping by and the conversation. Very much appreciated. I wasn't sure, being a holiday here, if it was going to be much of a chat, but I'm glad that it turned out to be pretty nice. Duncan says, not really in the UK, so not much of a celebration. I try to, for me, it's less of a holiday than it is an occasion to deepen my gratitude and extend it, make a commitment to extend it throughout the year. What I eat doesn't change from day to day. I am the most boring person on YouTube. It's amazing that I have a YouTube channel that literally it is a yogi in his basement doing burpees. I could just as easily had said it's an old, bald, middle-aged yogi doing really slow burpees in his basement every single day of his entire life. And it would have been just as accurate as anything else. It is definitely, my life is set by a clock, but I don't have a clock. It seems like I'm doing the same thing. Honestly, for me, everything seems to arise spontaneously, and as boring as it might sound, I do everything that I do with a great deal of joy and a great deal of gratitude. Absolutely all of it. Destiny says, yes, she was in DC and she grew up for many years before moving to Florida. Yeah, I'm about 25 miles from DC, about 15 miles from Baltimore. Duncan says that he has hill sprints in 15 minutes with a not so happy face. Although, when he does it, I mentioned this before, the description that I use for Duncan is fierce grace. Because the harder it gets, the more he seems to enjoy it. He gets this smile on his face. Like, this is exactly what I signed up for. This sucks. I'm going to puke maybe any minute. And it's exactly what I expected. And it's meeting my every expectation. And I'm loving every minute of it. Duncan, we have a month away from when It Is What It Is makes his grand burpee comeback. And I didn't get a chance to see that last year. So I'm looking forward to seeing it this year. Duncan says, I will need it. Lewis says that Duncan is a beast, and I agree 100%. Him and still on the game, Tony, I think might be the two most explosive burpee athletes that I know. And of course, Duncan's not exclusively burpees in his explosiveness, with the split lunges done explosively. Burpees are usually done explosively with the extra jump in the back. It is what it is, says the beginning sucks. Yeah, I guess it would. And I guess it might be hard coming back, not being able to do what you did right off the bat, where you left off. That's why I never stop. I can't imagine. I think my body would fall apart if I stopped moving for a day, honestly. Having said that, I place great value on stillness. You know, my meditation, my yoga practice is finding stillness within the motion, stillness of the mind. So I place a great value on that stillness. Duncan says that he feels like a timid mouse before the sprints. Yeah, but once you get started, Destiny says that I'm here sitting in the midst of all the amazing fitness beasts. What an honor it is. Says the person who dances with joy on the treadmill and is a beast on the jump rope. For sure. Lewis says, you aren't lying on that, Eric. But you know what? 2 or 3 weeks and you're right back to hitting those 5 pumps, I bet. Lewis says that he felt the same way when I was on my prime. I stopped one day and it felt weird. I think I'm a week away from 700 days of burpees in a row. And I say that like, you know, it's a big thing, except that before I did 700 days of burpees, I did decades of every day, whatever it is I was doing. Before it was burpees, I was doing a lot of one-arm kettlebell work and some body weight stuff as well. And before I was doing the one-arm kettlebell stuff, I was doing double kettlebell stuff and some body weight stuff, some double kettlebell stuff and ultra running. I had a similar streak going with my ultra running. I ran every day. Not super long, not super fast every day, but when I finally put everything together and got my first 100-mile race. I hit 100 miles, just under 100 miles in a weekend worth of running. I did 27 miles on a Saturday morning. I did another 26 Saturday evening. I woke up and did another 27 on Sunday morning. And then I woke up and I think I did 24 Sunday evening. And I knew at that point that I was going to be able to finish my race because I had already covered the distance on tired legs in that weekend. The Jay Jordan says, I know I'm not on your level with the burpees, but I respect everyone. I'd have to disagree with that because I remember watching you get 1,000 reps. To me, that's a whole nother kind of pain cave. It's a whole nother kind of hurt to be able to keep coming back for rep after rep after rep after rep. Lewis says, right now, brother, I don't know if I can even complete one pump. One pump at a time, man. I know you get there, no problem. Destiny says, it is so true. It is what it is. I have such a high respect for each of you, and I'm always learning new things. When you all share comments, I am so new to the fitness world. You are making phenomenal strides. Your rope work looks awesome. So, you know, I see you doing your rope work. I see you on the treadmill. It makes me wonder, what next? What are you going to bring your joy to next? Not to mention your nutritional talks are gold. Very important. Speaking of which, are you guys following Rob Botics, who put an excellent video on the biodome, the importance of getting that good bacteria in the gut. And he's old school fitness with the bull worker and the power twist, body weight stuff. Definitely follow Rob Botics if you can. He deserves a lot of likes. His nutritional advice, perfect. Except blue cheese. I used to like blue cheese when I wasn't a vegan, but I can't imagine eating it now. Destiny says that the Jay Jordan, how are you, coach? You're the bionic fitness beast. The Jay taught me how to jump rope. Then he did an excellent job because your rope work looks really good. The Jay Jordan, someone who shows up, got in your 6 miles today. Your fitness challenges, the fact that you're encouraging everyone every single day, do something. And actually, it is what it is, just confirms what I was saying. The Jay, I hope you're doing morning lives like the past year. He is. He did this morning. They helped me a lot. And that's what I mean, that it's infectious. One person, you don't even know the effects of what you do and how it works. The Jay says that mornings are best for me. Me as well, actually. My first thing out of bed, and I meditate, and then I got my first round of yoga, and then I go out for a 2 to 3 mile walk, brisk walk. Brisk for me is I try to do a 14 something pace, and then I'm back inside, a little more warm up, do my burpee workout. I go out for another 2 to 3 mile run walk, but then I do my big yoga session for the day. And then I try to do some gentle movement all through the day. Just keep moving. Destiny says that though the Jay Jordan was on a journey trying to jump, and I kept failing. Then you coached me through 8 months of training until the day I finally jumped over 100 nonstop with that rope. Thanks. Like I said, he did an excellent job coaching. It is what it is. Says yes, we're going to do. For me too, when I go, I got to get going around 4 a.m. Cold shower. Man, you're a better man than I am. I used to do the cold showers. I used to do the cold plunges. Duncan's been recommending them to me for a while. Maybe it's old age. I have a harder time with the cold than when I was younger, even just a few years ago. 3 years ago, I spent 30 minutes in the cold plunge, enjoying it. Now I can't imagine dipping my big toe in it. Lewis says that the J is a great motivator. Yeah, he certainly is. Actually, all of you guys are. Every single one of you. So, I am approaching my time for my last meditation for the day. So I'm going to shut things down. Appreciate you guys showing up and the conversation. It is what it is. Says all this talk about getting started is pumping me up. I'm happy to hear that. I'm really looking forward to the big comeback. But, you know, take your time because you put in the work. When you start, no one works harder. So, you know, you feel the downtime is helping you. So when you take that downtime, enjoy it for all it's worth. Speaking of which, enjoy your turkey. Don't forget, you know, you did a video prep of you cooking it. I definitely want to see when it's done. Definitely want to see the finished product. And remember, I'm an avowed 15-year vegan. So if I can appreciate your cooking, that's saying something about what a good cook you are. Destiny says, thanks to all the amazing fitness motivators in the room today. You're all my inspiration, and you as well. And thank you guys. Really appreciate everyone showing up, making my Thanksgiving. Very much appreciated. So you guys have a good day. And I will see you guys tomorrow. I actually might do a video later of the books that Simon was talking about. So we'll see how that works. I'll see you guys later. Enjoy your holiday. Take care. And be safe if you're traveling. Happy Thanksgiving to you, my friend.